Chapter 6, Computer Security. What is computer security? Another term of computer security is cybersecurity or IT security. Computer security is security applied to computing devices such as computers and smartphones, as well as computer networks such as private and public networks, including the whole internet. Computer security deals with the prevention and detection of unauthorized actions by users of a computer system. Computer security is concerned with the measures we can take to deal with intentional actions by parties behaving in some unwelcome fashion. Computer security may be the one who will protect the system of any gadgets, including the whole internet device. Ito ay gamit sa pag-secure na iyong device protecting in the virus or for the some people na nakakagawa ng hacking action using their experience in the system. Kaya gumagawa tayo ng more application to secure our device or information regarding for the IT security with using our or other gadgets. Security problem in computing. The meaning of the term computer security has evolved in recent years, before the problem of data security became widely publicized in the media. Most people's idea of computer security focus on the physical machine. Traditionally, computer facilities have been physically protected for three reasons. Number one, to prevent theft of or damage to the hardware. Number two, to prevent theft of or damage to the information. Number three, to prevent disruption of service. From the words deals with the prevention and detection of unauthorized actions by users of a computer security. Siguro alam naman natin ang tinutukoy nito na kailangan natin aralin ng bahagi ng computer security upang matukoy agad ang mga dapat gawin dito kapag may mga taong nagsasamantalang gamitin ang system sa hindi magandang paraan na kinakailangan na ma-aksyonan agad natin ang pangyayari. Important terms used in computer security. Vulnerability is a weakness which allows an attacker to reduce a system's information assurance. Vulnerability is the intersection of three elements: a system susceptibility or flow, attacker access to the flow, and attacker capability to exploit the flow. To exploit vulnerability, an attacker must have at least one applicable tool or technique that can connect to a system weakness. Backdoors. A backdoor in a computer system is a method of bypassing normal authentication, securing remote access to a computer, obtaining access to plain text, and so on, while attempting to remain undetected. The backdoor may take the form of an installed program, for example, back orifice, or could be a modification to an existing program or hardware device. It may also fake information about disk and memory usage. Ang backdoor ay napakahalaga na layunin ng system of computer security sapagkat ito ay nakakatulong sa malayang pag-access sa isang system device na kung saan will maintain the security of computer system in the viruses and other sources of some people try to open some device that no have permission in the system. Denial of service attack. Distributed denial of service or DDoS attacks are common, where a large number of compromised hosts, commonly referred to as zombie computers, used as part of botnet with, for example, a worm, Trojan horse, or backdoor exploit to control them, are used to flood the target system with network requests, this attempting to render it unusable through resource exhaustion. Unlike other exploits, denials of service attacks are not used to gain unauthorized access or control of a system. They are instead designed to render it unusable. These types of attack are, in practice, very hard to prevent because the behavior of whole networks needs to be analyzed, not only the behavior of small pieces of code. Ito sa denial service attack naman, sometimes will control the device system na may pinagsabay-sabay na pag-atake sa isang device. Yung tinutukoy na backdoor exploit dito, ito yung ginagamit upang subukang i-access ang device sa pamamagitan ng pag-control sa system. If you open one device, they have other process. Even you have connect code to open one device. Direct access attacks are the only type of threat to standalone computers or never connect to internet in most cases. An unauthorized using gaining physical access to a computer or part thereof can perform many functions, install different types of devices to compromise security, including operating system modifications, software worms, keyloggers, and covert listening devices. The attacker can also easily download large quantities of data onto backup media. For instance, CDR or DVD-R, tape, or portable devices such as key drives, digital cameras, or digital audio players. The direct access attack, it will use the hacker to open device system para makakuha ng detalye mula dito. Magagawa nilang buksan ang device sa pagbabago ng software, na yung bagay na yon ay makakatulong sa kanila upang mapadali nilang pagbukas sa isang system. Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping is the act of surreptitiously listening to a private conversation, typically between hosts on a network. For instance, programs such as Carnivore and ℂ𝕆𝕋𝔼ℚ have been used by the FBI and NSA to eavesdrop on the systems of internet service providers. Ang eavesdropping ay isang patagong pagkilos upang pakinggan ang pinag-uusapan ng isang grupo sa isang system. Halimbawa, mga programa tulad ng Carnivore at ℂ𝕆𝕋𝔼ℚ ay ginamit ng FBI to trace some voice in one device to determine the location of that person at kung sino siya. Spoofing. Spoofing of user identity describes a situation in which one person or program successfully masquerades as another by falsifying data and thereby gaining an illegitimate advantage. Ang spoofing ay karaniwang ginagawa ito ng isang hacker kung saan ang kanyang victim ay kukontinsihin niya upang mapalapit sa kanya. At sa pagkakataon na ito, dito sasamantalahin ng hacker ang data ng kanyang biktima sa pamamagitan ng paggaya ng imahe o ng kanyang mga detalye sa isang platform. Tampering. Tampering describes an intentional modification of products in a way that would make them harmful to the consumer. Tampering is an attack on a web application. It is used by smart or hacker person to exploit an application that they will benefit from it. Repudiation. Repudiation describes a situation where the authenticity of a signature is being challenged. Sa repudiation attack, nangyayari ang isang pag-atake sa pagtanggi kapag ang isang application o system ay hindi nagpatupad ng mga kontrol upang maayos sa subaybayan at ilag ang mga aksyon ng mga user. Kaya pinahihintulutan ang malisyosong pagmamanipula o pamimeke ng pagkakakilanlan ng mga bagong aksyon. Information disclosure or privacy breach or data leak describes a situation where information thought as secure is released in an untrusted environment. Elevation of privilege describes a situation where a person or a program want to gain elevated privileges or access to resources that are normally restricted to him or it. The information disclosure ay naglalarawan ng isang sitwasyon na kung saan ang inaakalang ligtas na impormasyon ay hindi na matutukoy. Then for the elevation of privilege, dito naman makikita natin ang kaugnayan ng mga impormasyon na maaring matukoy in the one program to find a high access, ngunit ay limitado lamang nangyari. Information disclosure ay naglalarawan ng isang sitwasyon na kung saan ang inakalang ligtas na impormasyon ay hindi na matutukoy. Then for the elevation of privilege, dito naman makikita natin ang kaugnayan ng mga impormasyon na maaring matukoy in the one program to find the high access, ngunit ay limitado lamang mangyari. Exploit. The term exploit generally refers to small programs designed to take advantage of software flow that has been discovered, either remote or local. The code from the exploit program is frequently reused in Trojan horses and computer viruses. An exploit is a piece of software, a chunk of data, or sequence of commands that takes advantage of a software bug or glitch in order to cause unintended or unanticipated behavior to occur on computer software, hardware, or something electronic or usually computerized. The term exploit ay tumutukoy sa maliit na program na kung saan kaya niyang buksan na isang software upang matukoy ang mga nilalaman nitong data. Ginamit ito bilang isang pandiwa. Ang pagsasamantala ay tumutukoy sa pagkilos ng matagumpay na paggawa ng ganong pag-atake in our system. Indirect attacks. An indirect attack is an attack launched by a third-party computer by using someone else's computer to launch an attack. It becomes far more difficult to track down the actual attacker. There have also been cases where attackers took advantage of public anonymizing systems, such as the four-onion router system. From the words indirect, it is not directing an attack on an object or system. In the use of people's computer here, the person described the attack as whatever he intends to obtain data related to his victim and has a connection to each device that will be used. Computer crime. Computer crime refers to any crime that involves a computer and a network. Ang computer crime ay madalas nangyayari ito sa pamamagitan ng paggawa ng maling aksyon for the system upang maglabas ito ng hindi magandang resulta sa inyong devices na may kinalaman sa parte ng computer. Na dito mo ginagawa ang crime sa paggamit ng devices. Top 10 cybercrime prevention tips. Number 1, use strong password. Use different user ID or password combinations for different accounts and avoid writing them down. Make them password more complicated by combining letters, numbers, special characters, minimum 10 characters in total, and change them on a regular basis. Number 2, secure your computer. Activate your firewall. Firewalls are the first line of cyber defense. They block connections to unknown or bogus sites and will keep out some types of viruses and hackers. Use antivirus or malware software. Prevent viruses from infecting your computer by installing and regularly updating antivirus software. Block spyware attacks. Prevent spyware from infiltrating your computer by installing and updating anti-spyware software. Number 3, be social media savvy. Make sure your social networking profiles, for example, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, MSN, etc., are set to private. Check your security settings. Be careful what information you post online. Once it is on the internet, it is there forever. Number 4, secure your mobile devices. Be aware that your mobile device is vulnerable to viruses and hackers. Download applications from trusted sources. Number 5, install the latest operating system. Keep your applications and operating system, for example, Windows, Mac, Linux current with the latest system updates. Turn on automatic updates to prevent potential attack on older software. Number 6, protect your data. Use encryption for your most sensitive files such as tax, returns, or financial records. Make regular backups of all your important data and store it in another location. Number 7, secure your wireless network. Wi-Fi or wireless networks at home are vulnerable to intrusion if they are not properly secured. Review and modify default settings. Public Wi-Fi, aka hotspots, are also vulnerable. Avoid conducting financial or corporate transactions on these networks. Number 8, protect your e-identity. Be cautious when giving our personal information such as your name, address, phone number, financial information on the internet. Make sure that websites are secure. For example, when making online purchases or that you've enabled privacy settings and when accessing or using social networking sites. Number 9, avoid being scammed. Always think before you click on a link or file of unknown origin. Don't feel pressured by any emails. Check the source of the message. When in doubt, verify the source. Never reply to emails that ask you to verify your information or confirm your user ID or password. Number 10, call the person for help. Don't panic. If you're a victim, if you encounter illegal internet content, for example, child exploitation, or if you suspect a computer crime, identity theft, or a commercial scam, report this to your local police. If you need help with maintenance or software on your computer, consult with your service provider or a certified computer technician. Computer security triad, they have three traditional areas of computer security. Number 1, confidentiality. Only authorized persons can read the protected information. Number 2, integrity. Only authorized person can write or change the protected information. Number 3, availability. Authorized person can read or write the information in a timely manner. Confidentiality refers to protecting information from being accessed by unauthorized parties. In other words, only the people who are authorized to do so can gain access to sensitive data. For example, imagine your bank records. You should be able to access them, of course, and employees at the bank who are helping you with the transaction should be able to access them, but no one else should. A failure to maintain confidentiality means that someone who should not have access has managed to get it through intentional behavior or by accident. Such a failure of confidentiality, commonly known as a breach, typically cannot be remedied. Once the secret has been revealed, there's no way to unreveal it. If your bank records are posted on a public website, everyone can know your bank account number, balance, etc., and that information cannot be erased from their minds, papers, computers, and other places. Nearly all the major security incidents reported in the media today involve major losses of confidentiality. Applying tools for handling confidentiality. Physical access restrictions, computer theft precautions or alarms, etc. Access control in the computer system, encryption in communication and storage, bug-free programs, law concerning data privacy. What is encryption? Encryption is the process of encoding a message so that its meaning is not obvious. Ibig sabihin, yung plain text i-hide nyo into codes, ang tawag dyan ay encryption. What is decryption? Decryption is the reverse process, transforming an encrypted message back into its normal and original form. Kapag sinabi namang decryption, kabaliktaran syempre ng encryption. So yung code naman, code message, i-convert mo papunta ng plain text. Ibig sabihin, the process of converting the code message into plain text para mabasa mo yung hidden message is called decryption. The two main kinds of encryption, asymmetric encryption, symmetric encryption. Part of encryption. The terms encode and decode or encipher and decipher are used instead of encrypt and decrypt. That is, we say that we encode, encrypt, or encipher the original message to hide its meaning. Then, we decode, decrypt, or decipher it to reveal the original message. A system for encryption and decryption is called a cryptosystem. The original form of a message is known as plain text, and the encrypted form is called ciphertext. What is asymmetric encryption? Asymmetric encryption, also known as public key encryption, uses a public key, private key pairing. Data encrypted with the private key can only be decrypted with the public key and vice versa. What is symmetric encryption? In symmetric encryption, the same key both encrypts and decrypts data. For symmetric encryption to work, the two or more communicating parties must know what the key is. For it to remain secure, no third party should be able to guess or steal the key. Number 2, integrity. Integrity, in the context of computer systems, refers to methods of ensuring that data is real, accurate, and safeguarded from unauthorized user modification. Integrity is one of the 5 pillars of information assurance, or IA. The other 4 are authentication, availability, confidentiality, and non-repudiation. Applying tools for handling integrity: physical access control, computer-based access control, checksums, values that can be used to check for random changes like transmission or storage noise. Protecting against intentional changes requires stronger cryptographic tools. Backups are used to restore data if unauthorized changes are noticed. Cryptographic tools for integrity: a digital signature or MAC created using a key. Integrity is checked by detecting changes in stored or transmitted data, by comparing a newly generated verification item with the old one. The idea is that it should be hard to create the correct verification item without the key. And integrity. Confidentiality and integrity protection are often based on the same techniques. No physical access to storage media, access control on all logical access paths to data, cryptographic techniques. Number 3, availability. Availability refers to authorized users that can freely access the systems, networks, and data needed to perform their daily tasks. Resolving hardware and software conflicts, along with regular maintenance, is crucial to keep systems up and available. Applying tools for handling availability. Protection against physical threats and attacks, uninterruptible power supplies, fire precautions, flooding precautions, temperature and humidity control, storm-resistant buildings, hindering secondary damage from data integrity attacks, backups, countermeasures against system overload, redundancy in server farms or disks, equipment that can detect and counter DOS attacks, countermeasures against system crashing. Check all user input for out-of-bands values. Switch off unused services and functions. And of course, follow and install supplier updates and patches. Basic security concepts of computer. Number 1, application security. Application security is the types of cybersecurity which developing application by adding security features within applications to prevent from cyber threats. The threat can be SQL injection, denial of service or DOS attacks, data breaches, or other cyber attacks. There are some application security tools such as firewalls, antivirus software, encryption, web application, firewall, and other security devices which can help to prevent from cyber attacks. Number 2, information security. Information security, or IS, is the types of computer security which refers to the process and methodology to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of computer system from unauthorized access, use modification, and destruction. IS focuses on the CIA triad model, which is to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data without affecting organization productivity. Number 3, network security. Network security is other types of IT security which process of preventing and protecting against unauthorized intrusion into computer networks. It is a set of rules and configurations which designed to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility of computer network system and information using both software and hardware technologies. Number 4, endpoint security. Human error is a major weak point which is easily exploited by cyber criminals. Find users are becoming the largest security risk in any organization. It is better to providing security awareness training program to them and should cover the following topics: cybersecurity threats, phishing and social engineering attack, password creation and usage, device security, physical security. Number 5, internet security. Internet security is the important types of computer security which has defined as a process and creates set of rules and actions to protect computer systems that are connected to the internet. It is a branch of computer security that deals specifically with internet-based threats such as hacking. A hacker is a person who finds weakness and exploits the vulnerability in computer system or network to gain access. Hacking refers to activities that exploit a computer system or a network in order to gain unauthorized access or control over system for illegal purposes. Letter B. Computer viruses. A computer virus is a software program that can spread from one computer system to another computer without the user's knowledge and performs malicious actions. It has capability to corrupt or damage data, destroy files, format hard drives, or make these unreadable. There are different types of computer virus which are follows: boot sector virus, direct action virus, resident virus, macrovirus, multipartite virus, file infector virus, browser hijacker, polymorphic virus, web scripting virus. A computer virus may spread on your computer and other devices as the following ways: download software or files, email attachments, phishing emails, external devices, online advertisements, click on malicious file, infected website, copying data from infected computer, unsolicited email, social media scam links. Number 5, Internet security. Letter C, denial of service attacks. A denial of service or DRS attack is an attack that shuts down a system and making it inaccessible to the users. It occurs when an attacker prevents legitimate users from accessing specific computer systems, devices, or other resources. In addition, DRS attack typically flooding a targeted system with requests until normal traffic is unable to be processed, resulting in denial of service to users. Letter D, malware. Malware is short for malicious software that typically consists of software program or code. It is developed by cyber attackers which are designed to extensive damage to data and systems. The malware is delivered in the form of a link or over email. It requires the user to click on the URL link or open the file to execute the malware. There are different types of malware such as computer viruses, spyware, ransomware, worms, Trojan horses, adware, or any type of malicious code. Categories of application traits. Here are the most common categories of application traits related to software or application, which are given below. Letter A, input validation. Input validation or data validation is the process of correct testing of any input that is provided by a user. It is difficult to detect a malicious user who is trying to attack the software and applications. So, it should check and validate all input data which will enter into a system. Here the list some of vulnerabilities that could be solved just by validating input: buffer overflow, SQL injection, denial of service or DOS attack, cross-site scripting, information disclosure. Letter B, authorization. Authorization is a security mechanism which is used to determine user privileges or access of a system resources such as computer programs, files, services, data, and application features. Letter C, session management. Session management is a process used by the web container to securing multiple requests to a service from the same user or entity. There are two types of session management. One is cookie-based and another one is URL rewriting. A web administrator uses session management to track the frequency of visits to an application and movement within the site. Here is a list of some session-related vulnerabilities such as hijacking session, replaying session, man in the middle, and etc. Letter D, parameter tampering. Parameter tampering is a technique which malicious hackers attempt to compromise an application through manipulating parameters in the URL string. It is a simple attack targeting the application business logic in order to modify application data, such as user credentials and permissions, price and quantity of products. Security methods. There are many methods to improve network security system. And here we have mentioned the most common network security components. Antivirus software, application security, behavioral analytics, data loss prevention or DLP, email security, firewalls, mobile device security, network segmentation, security information and event management or SIEM, virtual private network or VPN, web security, wireless security, network access control or NAC. Law concerning cybercrime. Excerpts from Republic Act No. 10175, an act defining cybercrime, providing for the prevention, investigation, suppression, and the imposition of penalties therefor and for other purposes. Section 1, title. This act shall be known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. Section 3, definition of terms. For purposes of this act, the following terms are hereby defined as follows. Letter A, access refers to the instruction, communication with, storing data in, retrieving data from, or otherwise making use of any resources of a computer system or communication network. Letter B, alteration refers to the modification or change in form or substance of an existing computer data or program. Letter C, communication refers to the transmission of information through ICT media, including voice, video, and other forms of data. Letter D, computer refers to an electronic, magnetic, optical, electrochemical, or other data processing or communications device, or grouping of such devices, capable of performing logical, arithmetic, routing, or storage functions, and which include any storage facility or equipment or communications facility or equipment directly related to or operating in conjunction with such device. It covers any type of computer device, including devices with data processing capabilities like mobile phones, smartphones, computer networks, and other devices connected to the Internet. Letter E, computer data refers to any representation of facts, information, or concept in a form suitable for processing in a computer system, including a program suitable to cause a computer system to perform a function and includes electronic documents and/or electronic data messages, whether stored in local computer system or online. Letter F, computer program refers to a set of instructions executed by the computer to achieve intended results. Letter G, computer system refers to any device or group of interconnected or related devices, one or more of which, pursuant to a program, performs automated processing of data. It covers any type of device with data processing capabilities, including, but not limited to, computers and mobile phones. The device consisting of hardware and software may include input, output, and storage components, which may stand alone or be connected in a network or other similar devices. It also includes computer data storage devices or media. Letter J, critical infrastructures refers to the computer systems and/or networks, whether physical or virtual, and/or the computer programs, computer data, and/or traffic data so vital to this country that the incapacity or destruction of or interference with such system and assets would have debilitating impact on security, national or economic security, national public health and safety, or any combination of those matters. Letter K, cybersecurity refers to the collection of tools, policies, risk management approaches, actions, training, best practices, assurance, and technologies that can be used to protect the cyber environment and organization and users' assets. Letter A, database refers to a representation of information, knowledge, facts, concepts, or instructions which are being prepared, processed, or stored or have been prepared, processed, or stored in a formalized manner and which are intended for use in a computer system. Letter N, service provider refers to number 1, any public or private entity that provides to users of its service the ability to communicate by means of a computer system. And number 2, any other entity that processes or stores computer data on behalf of such communication, service, or users of such service. Letter O, subscriber's information refers to any information contained in the form of computer data or any other form that is held by a service provider relating to subscribers of its services other than traffic or content data and by which identity can be established. Number 1, the type of communication service used, the technical provisions taken thereto, and the period of service. Page 169 of 229. Number 2, the subscriber's identity, postal or geographic address, telephone and other access numbers, any assigned network address, billing and payment information available on the basis of the service agreement or arrangement. And number 3, any other available information on the site of the installation of communication equipment available on the basis of the service agreement or arrangement. Letter P, traffic data or non-content data refers to any computer data other than the content of the communication, including but not limited to the communication's origin, destination, route, time, date, size, duration, or type of underlying service. Punishable acts. Section 4, cybercrime offenses. The following acts constitute the offense of cybercrime punishable under this act. Letter A, offenses against the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of computer data and systems. Number 1, illegal access. The access to the whole or any part of a computer system without right. Number 2, illegal interception. The interception made by technical means without right of any non-public transmission of computer data to, from, or within a computer system, including electromagnetic emissions from a computer system carrying such computer data. Number 3, data interference, the intentional or reckless alteration, damaging, deletion, or deterioration of computer data, electronic document, or electronic data message without right, including the introduction or transmission of viruses. Number 4, system interference, the intentional alteration or reckless hindering or interference with the functioning of a computer or computer network by inputting, transmitting, damaging, deleting, deteriorating, altering, or suppressing computer data or program, electronic document, or electronic data message without right or authority, including the introduction or transmission of viruses. Number 5, misuse of devices. Letter I, the use, production, sale, procurement, importation, distribution, or otherwise making available without right of. Letter A, a device, including a computer program, designed or adopted primarily for the purpose of committing any of the offense under this Act, or page 170 of 229. Letter B, a computer password, access code, or similar data by which the whole or any part of a computer system is capable of being accessed with intent that it be used for the purpose of committing any of the offenses under this Act. The possession of an item referred to in paragraphs above with intent to use said devices for the purpose of committing any of the offenses under this section. Number 6, cybersquatting, the acquisition of a domain name over the Internet in bad faith to profit, mislead, destroy reputation, and deprive others from registering the same if such a domain name is similar, identical, or confusingly similar to an existing trademark registered with the appropriate government agency at the time of the domain name registration, identical or in any way similar with the name of a person other than the registrant, in case of a personal name and acquired without right or with intellectual property interest in it. Letter B. Computer-related offenses. Computer-related forgery. The input, alteration, or deletion of any computer data without right, resulting in authentic data with the intent that it be considered or acted upon for legal purposes as if it were authentic regardless whether or not the data is directly readable, intelligible, or the act of knowingly using computer data, which is the product of computer-related forgery as defined herein, for the purpose of perpetuating a fraudulent or dishonest design. 2. Child pornography. The unlawful or prohibited acts defined and punishable by Republic Act No. 9775 or the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009 committed through a computer system provided that the penalty to be imposed shall be 1 degree higher than that provided for in Republic Act No. 9775. Number 3, unsolicited commercial communications. The transmissions of commercial electronic communication with the use of computer system which seek to advertise, sell, or offer for sale products and services are prohibited unless there is a prior affirmative consent from the recipient or the primary intent of the communication is for service and or administrative announcement from the sender to its existing users, subscribers, or customers, or the following conditions are present. The commercial electronic communication contains a simple, valid, and reliable way for the recipient to reject, receive, or further commercial electronic message opt out from the same source. The commercial electronic communication does not purposely disguise the source of the electronic message, and the commercial electronic communication does not purposely including misleading information in any part of the message in order to induce the recipients to read the message. Number 4. Libel. The unlawful or prohibited acts of libel as defined in Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code as amended committed through a computer system or any other similar means which may devise in the future. Section 5. Other offenses. The following acts shall also constitute an offense. Letter A. Aiding or abetting in the commission of cybercrime. Any person who willfully abets or aids in the commission of any of the offenses enumerated in this act shall be held liable. Letter B. Attempt in the commission of cybercrime. Any person who willfully attempts to commit any of the offenses enumerated in this act shall be held liable. Section 6. All crimes defined and penalized by the Revised Penal Code as amended and special laws, it committed by, through with the use of information and communication technologies shall be covered by the relevant provision of this act, provided that the penalty to be imposed shall be 1 degree higher than that provided for by the Revised Penal Code as amended in special laws, as the case may be. 7. Liability under laws. A prosecution under this act shall be without prejudice to any liability for violation of any provision of the Revised Penal Code as amended or special laws. Section 8. Penalties. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in sections 4A and 4B of this act shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of at least 200,000 pesos up to a maximum amount commensurate to the damage incurred or both. Any person found guilty of the punishable act under section 4A, number 5 shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of not more than 500,000 pesos or both. If punishable acts in section 4A are committed against critical infrastructure, the penalty of reclusion temporal or a fine of at least 500,000 pesos up to maximum amount commensurate to the damage incurred or both shall be imposed. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4C, number 1 of this act shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of at least 200,000 pesos, but not exceeding 1,000,000 pesos, or both. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4, letter C, number 2 of this act shall be punished with the penalties as enumerated in Republic Act number 9775 or the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009, provided that the penalty to be imposed shall be 1 degree higher than that provided for in Republic Act number 9775 if committed through a computer system. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4C, number 3 shall be punished with imprisonment of arresto mayor or a fine of at least 50,000 pesos but not exceeding 250,000 pesos, or both. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section number 5 shall be punished with imprisonment 1 degree lower than that of the prescribed penalty for the offense or a fine at least 100,000 pesos but not exceeding 500,000 pesos, or both.